ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो
ओम नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम
ओम
नमो
नमो भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं
नारायणं
नमस्कृत्यं
नमस्कृतं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं
नरं
चैव
चैव
नरोत्तमं
नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं
देवीं
सरस्वतीं
सरस्वतीं
व्यासं
व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, titled Conclusion, the Perfection of Renunciation, and verse number 50. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma
सिद्धिं
सिद्धिं
प्राप्तो
प्राप्तो
यथा
यथा
ब्रह्म
ब्रह्म
तथाप्नोति निबोध मे।
तथाप्नोति
तथाप्नोति
निबोध मे।
निबध्य मे।
समासेनैव कौन्तेय
समासेनैव
समासेनैव
कौन्तेय
कौन्तेय
निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा।
निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा।
सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म
सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म
तथाप्नोति निबोध मे।
तथाप्नोति निबोध मे।
समासेनैव कौन्तेय
समासेनैव कौन्तेय
निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा।
निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा।
Anyone would like to lead?
सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म
सिद्धिं
सिद्धिं प्राप्तो
प्राप्तो
यथा
यथा
ब्रह्म
ब्रह्म
तथाप्नोति निबोध मे।
तथाप्नोति
तथाप्नोति
निबध्य
निबोध
मे।
मे।
समासेनैव कौन्तेय
समासेनैव कौन्तेय
निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा।
निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा।
सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म
सिद्धिं
सिद्धिं
प्राप्तो
प्राप्तो
यथा
यथा
ब्रह्म
ब्रह्म
तथाप्नोति निबध्य मे।
तथाप्नोति
तथाप्नोति
निबोध
निबोध
मे।
मे।
समासेनैव कौन्तेय
समासेनैव
समासेनैव
कौन्तेय
कौन्तेय
निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा।
निष्ठा
निष्ठा
ज्ञानस्य या
ज्ञानस्य या
परा।
परा. Thank you very much. Synonyms: Siddhim, perfection.
सिद्धिं
Siddhim,
perfection.
perfection.
Prapta, achieving.
प्राप्त
Prapta, achieving.
achieving.
Yatha, as.
यथा
Yata,
as.
as.
Brahma, the supreme.
Brahma, the
ब्रह्म
supreme.
the supreme.
Tatha, so.
तथा
Tata,
so.
so.
Apnoti, one achieves.
आपनोति
Apnoti,
one
one
achieves.
achieves.
Nibodha, try to understand.
Nibodha,
Niboda
try to
try to
understand.
understand.
Me, from me.
Me,
Me
from
from
me.
me.
Samasena, summarily.
Samasena
Samasena,
summarily.
summarily.
Eva, certainly.
Eva,
Eva
certainly.
certainly.
Kaunteya,
Kunti.
Kaunteya,
O son of Kunti.
O
O son
son
of
of
Kunti.
Kunti.
Nishtha, the stage.
Nishtha, the
Nishtha the
stage.
stage.
Jnanasya,
Jnanasya,
of knowledge.
of
Of
knowledge.
knowledge.
Ya, which.
Ya,
Ya which.
which.
Para, transcendental.
Para,
Para
transcendental.
transcendental.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
O
Jai.
son of Kunti,
O son of Kunti.
O son of Kunti.
learn from me
Learn from
Learn
me
from me
how one
how
how
one
one
who has achieved this perfection
who has
who has
achieved this
achieved this
perfection
perfection
can attain to the supreme
can attain to the
can
supreme
attain to the supreme
perfectional stage,
perfectional
personal
stage,
stage,
Brahman,
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 the stage of highest knowledge,
the
the
stage of
stage of
highest
highest
knowledge,
knowledge,
by acting in the way I shall now summarize.
by
by acting
acting
in
in
the
the
way I
way
shall
I
now
shall now
summarize.
summarize.
Anyone would like to read the purport?
The Lord describes for Arjun how one can achieve the highest perfection perfectional stage simply by being engaged in his occupational duty, performing that duty for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One attains the supreme stage of Brahman simply by renouncing the result of his work for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. That is the process of self-realization. The actual perfection of knowledge is in the attaining pure Krishna consciousness that is described in the following verses.
Thank you so much. Let's all pray together. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-Jalakaya Chakshurmritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Yudhapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunata Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Visakha Vitamsha He Krishna
Hey
Karuna
Karuna
Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe
Radhe
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari
Shravana Devi
Devi
Pranamami Hari
Hari
Priye
Priye Namaste.
Vanchakalpataruvischa Kripa Sindhu Vahevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Jai
Jai
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Nilachal Nivasaya
Vajranasa
Nityaya
Nityaya
Paramatmane
Paramatmane
Balabhadra
Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam
Subhadrabhyam
Jagannadhaya Te
Jagannatha Yate
Namaha.
Namo. So thank you so much for joining this wonderful Sangha. And today, what a powerful verse where Lord is explaining about the process of self-realization. And that process of self-realization is nothing but our ability to surrender or rather attain the perfectional stage by doing everything for the Supreme. And how that is a bit of a confusing topic because not many people understand that how surrendering everything to Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can lead ourselves to the Brahman platform in the sense that the stage of highest knowledge, and how just to work for the Supreme will lead us to that stage of self realization. And that sometimes is not understood with the material mindset. So the process of self-realization is in attaining pure Krishna consciousness. What that means is in loving devotional service or in loving or trying to gather a taste for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And why that is important, Lord is explaining to Arjuna. And there he's saying, uh, Kaunteya, as in the son of Kunti, uh, l- please learn how one can achieve this perfection, and by attaining
Eh?
perfection stage, how you can uh, achieve me. And that he's going to summarize in the subsequent verse. So, so let's uh, talk about one or two key words Krishna is using. He's using Kaunteya, as in he's trying to refer to Arjuna with love, and then he also uses the word nibodha, trying to understand the Supreme, and also samasena. That means he's also summari- summarizing the essence of the surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he uses the word tathapnoti, as in achieving. So, with that, let's try to dwell a little bit more deep into the subject matter, because most of the time we think that we have this tendency wherein we try to attain the aspect wherein we try to acquire money, fame, and that will lead us to happiness. But after getting there, we realize that the yearning for whatever we have got, money, fame, it doesn't subside. We keep on hankering for more and more, and that is when we get too much into the material space, wherein we're trying to multiply 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, and so forth, and we never achieve the sense of containment. But when we start looking at it from a spiritual point of view, there are uh, there are many who have gone there. It's not as if this is being spoken out of no experience. Anyone who has gone into the path of name, fame, they have craved more and more. And by doing so, they have reached the path where there is absolutely no containment, or there is absolutely no sense of happiness or bliss. Because this is the external aspect. So, whatever we do, if you put a fish outside the water, put it in a golden cabinet, you put it in a golden house. The fish dharma, the fish nature or fish's principle is to live in the water. So, however way you try to take the fish and put it in a huge palace, golden palace, nice interior, nice exterior, it's not going to make the fish happy, because the basic principle where the fish stays happy is in its basic dharma, as in he or she can stay content alongside his social structure. So, likewise, we think that this house belongs to us, this family belongs to us, this car belongs to us, and you get too much attached into, shining it, getting better, trying to outlove. But eventually, what happens is these are all temporary phases of life, and we are not going to realize by extending these relationships all throughout. But we have forgotten in this path that we have come from someone else. So when Srila Prabhupada was challenged by many of these journalists, that why you are such an old person, and you have so many health ailments, why you have come to this country? A lot of press in Britain, I think they asked Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada mentioned that uh, you have plundered our country, you have plundered India, and you have taken away everything from India. You have siphoned everything from India. But there is one thing you have forgotten, and that thing which you have forgotten, I have come to give it to you. And what is that thing? The essence of Krishna consciousness or God loving attitude, or an aspect wherein the Vedic principles are aligned. So he said, you have taken everything from us, all material, but there is one thing we possess which you forgot to plunder or steal, and that is Vedic knowledge. And I have come to give back that to you. So, what a astounding aspect of Srila Prabhupada trying to put that across, that whatever you end up doing, but if you do not have the love for Godhead, you cannot perfect your essence. So we think the Brahman trying to realize the Brahman, getting knowledgeable enough, and trying to see, Lord, uh, through the gaining knowledge. But unless we have love for God, we cannot learn more about Him. We need to have love. So love is an essential thing. So whenever you realize, there is this nice saying that there is this daughter-in-law who was constantly tortured by mother-in-law. And so one day the daughter-in-law became so fed up that she went and spoke to the sarpanch of the village in a confidentiality, saying that, you know, this mother-in-law is troubling me all the time, and I cannot um, live with her. Can you tell me by a way by which I can eliminate her? The sarpanch looked at the situation and said, "Take this leaf, and every day you give a little in the food of the mother-in-law, and slowly she will leave her body." So the daughter-in-law took very good care of the mother-in-law. Little by little leaves, she would put it in the food and give it to mother-in-law. uh, Days passed, weeks passed. The she saw that mother-in-law is showering love gradually, and after a week or 2 weeks of feeding her, she's seeing that her mother-in-law is loving her more and more, and all the aspect of troubling her has gone, and she has been loving her, taking care of the daughter-in-law. And in the meantime, the daughter-in-law realized, what have I done? I'm feeding her this leaf every day and she's going to die. So she ran to the place where she got the leaf from as a medicine to kill the mother-in-law. The sarpanch said, don't worry, that leaf will not make your mother-in-law die. And and you see in this similar, the same relationship, but see what love can transform. Love can change. This love is the only thing which can change. And in doing and the real love lies in loving the origin of where we have come from, not loving money or loving the person or the external beauty in any form or shape. So the love and the object of love, as long as they are pure, as long as they are transcendental, this is bound to be successful. This activity of showering devotional service with extreme love can only get us better. And that has been spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this beautiful verse as to the only way, the only way you will gain a lot of knowledge just by showering love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You see, when you start showering love to Supreme Personality of Godhead and you come to various different festivals and take part and you hear Katha, you become so much knowledgeable about the way of life, which you wouldn't have thought about if you wouldn't have joined this process of loving devotional service. Because everything is in the scriptures. And when the scriptures are revealed through you by the knowledge given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and through that knowledge, you assimilate that scripture, everything will be transparent and be revealed to you. And your love for Godhead will increase and increase. You don't have to have master's degrees or PhD degrees to recognize that love. And that love will basically get showered from the heart of a pure devotee, and you will relish this in this life and transform in this life. So, with that, I'd like to end as to how the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with the intent to arouse that dormant love for Supreme, gradually will give us or take us to the stage of Brahman realization. And we don't have to do big silent meditation to achieve that. Simply by associating, simply by hearing, simply by chanting, simply by partaking Krishna Prasadam, and we can and gradually meditate about the Supreme in this form of, hey, I'm going to eat, but hey, did my Supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna or Jagannath or Gauranga ate today? No, they haven't. So just offer. So you're conscious of the thing when he's going away for vacation, you're taking a picture or taking the Lord Himself with you. So you're basically serving Him. So you are constantly being conscious and enamored by the activities of the Supreme. So you're becoming conscious, and that will uh, arouse the sense of caring, sense of attentivity, and that will lead a life which is going to be very blissful. So, with that, like to end here, like to hear your conversation in terms of how this verse has affected you, your reflections, and so on and so forth. With that, thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Bhagavad Gita.
Any comments, Prabhu?
My only when you are speaking, Prabhuji, when you are explaining this verse, one incident which we all know, but that's what struck my mind when you were explaining that is the love of Godhead, Prabhuji. This is, I think, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's experience, Prabhuji, where in South India, um, I think it's called Kurma Brahman, or one Brahman was reading Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji. And technically, he was not reading Prabhuji. Technically, he was I think there are many versions. The version which I know is he was reading it upside down, or it was not even in the correct position. In one version, they say that he was reading not correctly, but let's take upside down. Any case, Prabhuji, that doesn't matter. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked that you are holding it upside down, or you are not reading correctly, or people are making fun of when you are reading, he says it doesn't matter. And he crying also, Prabhuji, while reading, while holding the Bhagavad Gita. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, why are you crying? Then he told that I'm crying that how benevolent Krishna is, where he is becoming a servant of a devotee. And when I remember that, I'm crying a lot. That how a God can be a servant of a devotee. As I didn't know, Prabhuji, but Sri Vrindavan Prabhu has explained that the chariot driver is directed by the whoever is throwing the basically releasing the arrows. He wants the chariot driver to go in the direction in which he wants to shoot the arrows. And the way he does is that he kicks with his legs and tells that go left or go right, depending upon which direction he wants to go. So that is the marvel of the love of Godhead, and which Krishna also reciprocates, where he forgets his own position as Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prabhuji. That is one point which I remembered, Prabhuji. And the second point is, as you stated in your opening statement, that we may have everything, but we don't feel contented and happy. But when we give that, use that, or give that, or in the service of Krishna, then the real joy comes, Prabhuji. Real bliss comes. So that real bliss is, Krishna is trying to tell that that is the real bliss which you will enjoy from this. So these are the two realizations I got when you are explaining this, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, getting the arrow shot on the way to towards the attack is a thing which makes it. That means Lord is willing to take the shot at him first by trying to drive the chariot towards the enemy, and that itself is a sense of protection, and thinking that the Supreme is serving the devotee. That is another. So that is what bhakti. Whenever you say, "How can we help you?" and when the Lord comes to our festival and say, "How can I help you?" and you without you are in so much of bliss that you, instead of getting served from the God, you want to serve the Lord, and the Lord is coming and asking you how I can help you, and that is just the opposite of a situation where devotees go to the temple seeking help, asking for money. It's just the opposite aspect of opposite of bhakti. So that is very topmost. Any other comments?
And Prabhuji, Krishna says this also, that I cannot repay the love of gopis. That means he says, I, being supreme personality of Godhead, he's unable to repay the love of the gopis. That's how indebted he is to the devotees, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
And gopis are the topmost devotees.
Yeah,
Um, their consciousness, that is what Prabhupada has asked us to aim for, basically. The love of the gopis.
true, true. Thank you. Any other comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nice class. So, Prabhuji, so generally, the yogis, right? So they basically meditate upon, they do this Brahman realization, right? Then the Ashtanga yogi, they meditate upon the supreme, like the Paramatma, and devotees basically like they do bhakti yoga, right? Directly they worship the Lord.
Hmm.
So there's something called Brahma Bhutatma no Sanchati no Kankhya, right? I mean, just wanted to know, Prabhuji, the love of Godhead will not attain in the Jnani stage, right? I mean, those who are doing this Jnana yoga, right? The meditation.
Yeah, so there are three absolute truths, right? One who is in the who wants to merge uh, into the uh, Brahman or Brahma Jyoti of the Lord, and that Brahma Jyoti of the Lord is the effulgence of the Lord, and that uh, is basically the Gyanis, and then the second stage of realization is uh, to be is to meditate, or the yogis who meditate on the form of the Lord, and as in um, a- but those realizations are not incorrect realizations, but they are incomplete realizations. But the final stage of realizations, jnani, yogi, and the final stage of realization is the bhakta realization, where he thinks Lord is a person. Like you think about the rays of the sun, which is Gyan is very happy with the rays of the sun. But yogis, they want to look at the ball of fire and want to meditate on the ball of fire. But the bhaktas, which are beyond Gyanis and yogis, they want to know, is there a person behind the ball of fire? Yes, there is a person. What is his name? His name is Vivaswan. So Vivaswan is the name or the personalized form of sun god. So if I serve the personal form of
Hmm?
Vivaswan, he will
Oh,
be. pleased. So the thought process, Prabhu, is not that they are incorrect who are meditating on the ray of fire or ball of fire, and that is definitely inferior in comparison to that personality. And to serve that personality is the ultimate thing. It's the example given is you send a letter to your mom. The experience is 25%. You have a FaceTime with the mom, experience is 50%. But you go to India, serve mom, get some grocery for mom, massage the feet once or twice of mom. That is 100%. So that is complete. So this is how we should look at the aspect of jnanis and yogis and bhaktas. And we are not in a position to demean anybody's meditational technique or jnani technique, but we want to believe that, as mentioned by our acharyas, that our process of loving devotional service is the topmost because you experience it you don't have to read so many books to experience it. You don't have to, and that is what bhakti is. Is that okay, bro?
Yes, Prabhuji. And those who are doing this bhakti yoga, ultimately they already achieved this Brahman as well as the super soul realization, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes. It is like going by step or going by lift. If you have gone by lift, you've already gone through the steps. You don't have to go through the steps, 100 floors to Empire State Building to tell that you have gone to Empire State Building. If you take the express elevator and go to the 100th floor and see New York City from the top, that is enough. You don't have to ex- don't have to experience going through 1,000 steps to experience that you have gone to Empire State Building, right?
Right, Prabhuji. Thank you. And one more thing, like in childhood also, right? We kind of um, born into a culture where wherever we go to temple, right? Like my parents, they used to say, ask God, give some knowledge or something. So we always, we educated that, whenever you go to temple, just, ask Lord something, okay, right? So nobody has taught me, right? When you go to temple, say thank you to God, that God has given so many things to us, okay, right? But we'll always educated, like, whenever you go to temple, just ask God, okay, give me this, give me that, give me this, right? So, I mean, there's something I feel like, Prabhuji, the culture that we born. I mean, I'm telling about myself. I don't know where, we never say thank you to God, okay, from childhood, right? So we should educate our kids, right? Whenever you go to temple, just say thank you to God because so many things God has provided to us, okay, right? But we forget everything. We simply ask only, okay. We never say, we thank you that whatever you have given, you know, that's what I feel like, this kind of
Mhm.
training should be give to our then.
Yes, bro. So it's all about culture, as you rightly said. It's all about your upbringing. You go to certain sect of people, some group of community, they're very God loving. They're very loving. They are in some of the dhams, if you go like Mathura, Vrindavan, in the neighboring areas of 10, 20, 30, 40 miles, there is not a single non-vegetarian soap. There is not a single liquor shop. It's and you'll go to certain areas. There will be a dham, and within a mile or two, there are irregulated places of devotion, such as which are not regulated. So it's all about upbringing actually. And what you said is primarily driven by our economic advancement because economic advancement is considered to be a stature of success in our societies and many societies what you are referring to. And there are certain societies where everybody is economically stable. For them there is no difference, but there is something which somebody do not possess is of utter importance. So what you said is all about upbringing. That's the reason why some people, they connect to Krishna consciousness immediately, and there are certain people, they take lives and they still cannot connect with Krishna consciousness. So it is all about upbringing. It's all about achar, because with achar you become a acharya. Like Srila Prabhupada was a founder acharya. Through his behavior, through his achar, he reached the pedestal where we are all very indebted to him, and likewise, because all these things were available in Sanskrit. So, if Srila Prabhupada wouldn't have really translated word by word, we wouldn't have truly gone into these verses and analyzed it deeply. And because of Srila Prabhupada, this Sanskrit got translated to English, and from English, everybody can read, and they took it and translated to hundreds of languages in French, German, Russian, uh, Telugu, Gujarati, and so forth. So from one connection, it opened up thousands of connections. And because of that, we could understand and meditate on a Friday evening on the subject matter, which is very important to all of us, but only if few are interested. But these few who are interested to hear and talk about it and discuss about it are the jewels. We are not interested about quantity. We are interested about people who are serious enough to understand the science of self-realization, which is the highlight of 18.50, which we discussed today. Okay, bro?
Okay, bro.
So tomorrow is New York City Rath Yatra, second Saturday of June, all the time. So this year, next year, please book that in your calendar, and I hope you have a great Rath Yatra, the Festival of India at the end, and hope to see some of you if you are going there. And the 26th, we are having our actual day, Ashada Shukla Paksha Ditya, actual day Rath Yatra in our temple. So invite your friends to come on Thursday evening, 26th, in huge numbers as we celebrate the Rath Yatra in our temple. And then 2 days later, on the 28th, we will have the Atlantic City Boardwalk Rath Yatra. As you face the sea, it goes from the left end of the boardwalk
Very
to
nice.
the Kennedy Plaza. So for that also there will be a lot of activities in store. And then we'll have the return, the Bahuda Yatra. And then in the second Sunday of August, we'll have the Oak Tree Road Indian Independence Day Rath Yatra parade. So with that, thank you so much. Any final questions or comments?
Prabhuji, and Puri Rath Yatra is on Friday, right?
That is because if you go to drikpanchang.com and you put the place, you'll find that the Ashada Shukla Paksha Ditya in Puri is falling on Friday, as you said, and Ashada Shukla Paksha Ditya in New Jersey is falling on Thursday. So we are doing on the same tithi as Puri because we try to follow the tithi or nakshatra as much as possible. Rath Yatra is done on the Ashada Shukla Paksha Ditya, right, Prabhu? And if you go to
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
if you go to drikpanchang.com and you change your location to Edison or Plainsboro, you'll see that the 26th. So if you go to VCal, Vaishnava calendar, and Vaishnava calendar changes from country to country and from place to place. And if you see Ashara Shukla Pakya is falling, that's why we're celebrating on Thursday. Is that okay? And sometime we may align with the Jagannath Puri date, but uh, but this year we are doing on the Tithi day, not on the Jagannath Puri day.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. And also there are little technicalities which are different, as Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj said. Tradition and culture is identified in every temple. If you remember 30 years back when Rath Yatra used to go, at the time lighting system in the Grand Road were not there. If the evening was at 5:30 and it becomes pitch dark, They used to stop the chariot at 5:30, and the Lord will stay in the chariot for the whole night. And next day, the chariot will start and go to Gundicha temple. But nowadays, with floodlight technology, you could see that Lord is reaching Gundicha temple by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So tradition is evolution. It changes. It changes, right? So there's nothing written in the stone that if you want to take the Lord with love and devotion on a certain day, very much aligned with the Tithi, of course, not very far off, and Lord will be unhappy. Lord is Vaktavasal. Do you think they will, Lord will? And there is a lot of back and forth in the press because there are some people who are interested in creating rift and
Criticism.
yeah, so these technicalities here and there, 1 2 days here and there, if we start doing that, we will have to live with dhoti and chadar all our life. So we have to, that's where Krishna mentions, staying with the same occupation, you can attend God, back to God. That is essentially what we studied today and last Friday. I mean, when we'll had our last Bhakti Vriksha, right? So staying in your Varnashram dharma also, you are following dharma. A person who is a Kshatriya, by being a Kshatriya, he can realize God, right? Varnash, because Varnashram dharma itself is started by the Lord himself. Okay. So little technicalities here and there is not, you look at New York City Rath Yatra, so beautiful. 3 chariots. Nowhere in this local area, there are 3 chariots with love and devotion. They will be carrying the Lord on the Fifth Avenue, the greatest avenue in the whole world. Fifth Avenue is the biggest avenue. On the Fifth Avenue, all Fortune 500 companies will have their offices. And Lord is going, Lord of the universe is going in the top city, New York City, in the topmost street, Fifth Avenue, tomorrow. So if there is a little date difference, it's absolutely pleasing to the Lord because Lord is making it happen for the last 20 years. And Lord has already sanctioned and approved the approval for the next 20 years. So Lord is going to be very pleased in those 3 beautiful cards. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Let's offer obeisance at the lotus feet of all Vaishnavas by saying Vancha Kalpataru Vaishya Kripasindu Devacha Patitanam Pavaneshno Vaishnavibhyo Namo Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Granth Bhagavad Gita ki
Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Ki Jai.
Gaur Premanande
Hari Hari
Hari Hari
Bol.
Bol.